What is up, YouTube? It is your boy NMR Sports here, coming back at you with another MLB video. Today, we're going to be talking about the AL East and who we think is going to be the division winner, who's going to be the other three wildcard spots, because it really looks like there's 4 playoff teams in this division. I apologize for the makeshift setup. I'll probably be doing a video on this. This is my dad's MLB room from my childhood home. So anyways, we're going to be talking about the AL East today. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to win the AL East. I'll be getting into my predictions in just a second. As we know, Trevor Story, the last free agent domino, just fell over in Boston. So it's going to be a very interesting division. We got a lot of good teams and one absolutely terrible team. Sorry, Orioles fans. Spoiler alert. I don't have you in 4th place or above. Anyways, let's get into the video. Don't forget to hit that sub button if you like baseball content, and let's get right into it. Now, as we talked about in the intro, Trevor Story just signed with the Boston Red Sox, and while this makes Boston a little bit better defensively, and I don't really know if it makes them that much better offensively. Last year, they had guys like Christian Arroyo coming through every day of the week. Rafi Devers obviously is a stud. Xander Bogaerts is a stud. They got a whole, they have like 5 good outfielders right now between Jarren Duran and Alex Verdugo. If you want to count JD Martinez as an outfielder, he played a little bit of outfield last year. Kike Hernandez is in center. And they also lost a few big pieces like Kyle Schwarber. They traded Hunter Renfroe away. Those are 2 huge bats in their lineup that they're going to be missing out on this year. So I don't necessarily know if they got better offensively. I do think they got a little bit better with pitching depth. Jake Diekman is the best reliever in that bullpen now, and they finally have a good lefty. They were really missing that in the postseason last year. Garrett Whitlock is the guy I was thinking of. That dude is a stud. He was really good for them last year. So overall, their bullpen looks really solid. The rotation's good. I don't know how much better it really got. They lost Eduardo Rodriguez, obviously, but they still got Eovaldi and Sale there. Hopefully, Sale can have a big resurgence for them. Obviously, he's never really been a bad pitcher, but he didn't look like Chris Sale when he came back from injury last year. It's really hard to come back from Tommy John surgery mid-season. So hopefully after having a full spring training and off-season to get his normal routine back together, Chris Sale returns to that elite form. Because if Chris Sale's a true ace over there still, I really think this Red Sox team could at least finish second in this division. I don't really know if they can win the division. I don't know if their ceiling's that high compared to some of these other teams that we're going to talk about. Next up, we got the New York Yankees. Now, the New York Yankees, I don't know. I don't know what I expected this offseason. I mean, I know what I expected this offseason. I expected Carlos Correa in New York. I expected one of the top pitchers to go there. I expected maybe a big trade to come through, and I guess they got a little better. I don't know, man. The rotation's going to be better with Severino healthy the whole season. Their bullpen's still elite. Loaizaga might be the most underrated reliever in all of baseball. That dude is a massive stud. And then Chapman's obviously still a lockdown closer. Britton's still back there. They got so many good arms in that bullpen. But offensively, I really don't know if they got better. They added... Obviously, they signed Rizzo back, so that's a good left-handed bat to have in there. They still have Joey Gallo, who they traded for last season. Judge and Stanton are also going to be studs, assuming Judge gets vaccinated and doesn't have to miss every single home game next year. That's going to be a big development up in New York. But they obviously traded for Josh Donaldson and Isaiah Falefa. I don't know why they're going to go into the season with him as their starting shortstop. Doesn't make any sense to me. But Donaldson is a big bat. I think he's better than Gio Urshela. He just doesn't stay healthy, and that's going to be a big factor there. Obviously, they also traded away Gary Sanchez, so that's a huge hole offensively. So I think overall their lineup got worse, but their rotation's going to be better. It's going to be very interesting to see because I'm a big proponent of having a good pitching staff and the lineup can come second. So if their pitching staff did get better like I expected did, even without any major free agent additions, I think they could still make the playoffs. I just am not super high on them going into this season. I don't think they got better in free agency. Now, the Baltimore Orioles, I'm not even going to talk about because they're garbage, and I just want to see Adley Rutschman rank in the majors. So I'll watch Adley Rutschman. Other than that, I don't have anything good or bad to say about the Orioles. I don't even know if they made any noteworthy moves. If they did, I missed it. Let me know in the comments. I'm sorry, Orioles fans. There's not a lot to talk about here. Now, the team that had possibly the biggest offseason in this division, not even possibly, very clearly had the biggest offseason in this division, is the Toronto Blue Jays. They absolutely made their rotation a lot better. They signed Jose Barrios to a long-term deal before the offseason ended, or before the lockout started, sorry. They signed Kevin Gausman to a multi-year deal to be their ace. And then obviously guys like Alek Manoah are still back there. They also signed Yusei Kikuchi, which I almost forgot about. And I think he makes it a very solid bullpen, very deep bullpen, I should say. It's not super top heavy like some rotations, like the Brewers out there or the Mets out there, but it's very deep. Like Yusei Kikuchi being your number 5 or number 4 is going to be really good for them. They still got Hyun-Jin Ryu out there as a guy I forgot to mention. So that's 5 solid starting pitchers they have out there. And if Kevin Gausman can do anything like he did in San Francisco, he could be a legitimate ace for them. That's going to make them a really good rotation. I am a little disappointed that they didn't go out and get any relief pitching help, though. I thought they were a big team that could have gotten guys like Kenley Jansen would have been a great fit for them. If they tried to get Rysel away for my Angels, that would have been a good move for them. There were a lot of good free agent relievers available, and they really didn't seem to make a play for any of them. So Yimi Garcia is a pretty good addition. Jordan Romano's still back there. He's really good. Adam Simber was pretty good for them last year. I just don't know if it's going to be enough. I feel like they're going to blow a lot of games in that bullpen, but definitely think they could out-hit that. They could out-hit the shortcomings of their bullpen. That lineup is ridiculous. They traded for Matt Chapman this offseason, so that's going to be a big help, especially defensively. They already had one of the best defensive infields in the game. Now they have a very close to at least a top 5 defensive infield. It's going to be ridiculous. They have a very right-handed heavy lineup. There's only, as far as I'm aware, one left-handed bat on this entire roster, and that's Cavan Biggio, who I don't even know is going to start. He might start some games at second base this year, but it's going to be really interesting to see because they have an all-righty lineup. Still, it doesn't really matter. Matchups don't really matter. It's an urban legend. Obviously, Vlad Jr. is probably going to finish top 3 in MVP voting. George Springer is obviously still a stud center fielder if he can just stay healthy a little bit this season. Guys like Teoscar Hernandez, Bo Bichette, even Alejandro Kirk, bro. I'm a big Alejandro Kirk fan. So hopefully the Blue Jays can win this division this year with how good they had, how good of an offseason they had. They've still got a great lineup, a solid rotation, and a decent bullpen. I just don't know if that bullpen is going to be able to get it done, and that's what makes a good bullpen is what turns good teams into great teams. So I don't know how these Blue Jays fans are feeling. I actually have a few Blue Jays fans I've talked to on Twitter, and a lot of them are still a little sketched about this lineup and this bullpen that they have, but we'll see. I think the rotation's solid enough to definitely get them into the playoffs. I just don't know if I can call this a World Series caliber team yet. And last but not least, we have the Tampa Bay Rays. And the Tampa Bay Rays, just no matter what, going into the season, you never think they're going to be a division winner, but my God, bro. I look at the roster and I still don't see a division winner. The bullpen looks ugly. The rotation looks ugly without, except for the 2 Shanes. Shane Baz and Shane McClanahan look really good. The lineup looks shaky at best. Wander Franco's still a stud, obviously. They got some other good, talented guys like Randy Arozarena in that lineup. And still some good talent in the minor leagues for sure. But it's so hard to see that this is the best team in the division, but until they prove me otherwise, I'm still going to say this is the best team in the division. Wander Franco is probably going to be an MVP candidate this year. That's what everybody has him projected. I think, yeah, he had his rookie season last year, so he's not going to be eligible for Rookie of the Year, else he'd be a lock for that. So I definitely think he could finish top 10 in the MVP voting, and we're going to be calling him, if you're not already, a top 5 shortstop in baseball after this season. And I just think the team around him is going to play well enough to definitely get them to the playoffs. Hopefully they can make a little bit deeper run this this time around. I could see them trading for a lot of random arms that they turn into studs. Luis Patino is a guy to watch on this team as well. He's probably going to be in the rotation this year, and I could see that man turning into a top 15 Cy Young candidate. Same thing with Shane Baz. I'm very high on Shane Baz. Which is hilarious because it's just the funniest trade of all time. The Pirates trade that they had. Shane Baz was the 3rd piece of that puzzle outside of Austin Meadows and was it Tyler Glasnow. Now, if Tyler Glasnow was on this team, bro, they would probably be the World Series favorite. But without Tyler Glasnow, I think they're good. I think they'll make the playoffs. It's going to be a very big dogfight at the top of this division this year. Now, with that being said, let's get into my division predictions to end off the video. 5th place, it's pretty obvious we got the Baltimore Orioles. There's just not a lot there. Maybe like 3 years down the road or so, they got a lot of young talent in that farm system. I really hope Adley Rutschman's up this season and raking in the majors because he's going to be fun to watch. But definitely not your season, Orioles fans. I'm sorry. 4th place, this might be a hot take. I don't think it should be, But that's going to be the Boston Red Sox. Now, the Boston Red Sox did make some moves this offseason, but I think last year I liked their team better. Outside of the Jake Diekman addition, I don't think they made any major additions to make this team better. They traded for Jackie Bradley Jr., which will help them defensively, but it's going to take a huge bat out of their lineup in Renfroe. I just don't see it. I don't see them being any higher than 4th place. Now, this might get me in some trouble because I honestly, before I made this video, I was thinking Yankees were 4th place, but we're going to go with the New York Yankees in 3rd place. It's still a really good roster, even though they didn't really get better this season. Hopefully they can stay healthy this year. If we get a full healthy season from Judge, Donaldson, and Stanton, that's a terrifying middle of the lineup right there. Hopefully Joey Gallo can get back to form too. It's going to be a very interesting year for the Yankees, but you know me, I love a good bullpen, so that's what puts them over the Red Sox for me. Second, we got the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, the Toronto Blue Jays, like we said, very good lineup, shaky bullpen, great rotation, but I really just can't go against the first place team, the Tampa Bay Rays. Until they prove me wrong, I think last year I had them in 3rd place or 4th place. Until they prove me wrong, I can't go against this team. So Tampa Bay Rays 1st, Toronto Blue Jays 2nd, Yankees 3rd, Red Sox 4th, Orioles 5th. Let me know down in the comments if you disagree with my rankings or my predictions for this division. I'm going to be making a lot more of these, so leave a like, turn on post notifications so you know when I post the other divisions. And here's to a good MLB season. Hit that sub button. I'll see you guys next time.